What's going on, Tamers? Welcome to a DigiPod, the digital podcast, DigiTalks, featuring Ben.
Hey, we can't say DigiTalks, man. That's copyrighted.
That's right. That is content creator copyrighted. Shit.
I mean,
wait,
it's not really like, it's not
It's
like,
not like super copyrighted, but like I've been
someone
using.
else has that.
Well, it's Ben's good content creator friend. Ride my. No, sorry, not Ride. Fucking thinking of Ride My Avatar. No, it's Zenitsu.
There we go. He has.
Yeah, it's Zenitsu, and it's his DigiTalks podcast. And I was fucking throwing around, yeah, this is DigiTalks. This is a segment that we have on DigiPod where we interview people. And then here's DigiTalks, our talk show. And then somebody was like, isn't DigiTalks the name of Zenitsu's podcast? And I was like, shit, you're right.
Yeah, basically. Switch it up.
So this is DigiPod Talks.
DigiPod Talks, legally distinct.
I would say DP Talks, but DP can be taken in 1,000 different ways. Therefore, we will not use the abbreviation DP.
No.
Why would you do that?
Oh, no.
My God. This is how we start off today's episode, huh? Got it.
That's what it is. That's where it is. DigiPod Talks featuring Ben. What's up, Ben?
Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome.
How's it going?
We had the lovely pleasure of meeting Ben at Nationals. Thanks to our very good friend Lance, who out of nowhere stopped him and was like, "Hey, dude, you have so-and-so card." And I'm looking at him, and I'm like,
the Edamon card.
Yeah, it's the Edamon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know him? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, who is he? He's like, that's Ben. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. That is Ben. But then I was like, so why the fuck are you stopping him? Like, you just expect Ben to be walking around with a random ass Edamon. What? EX
5.
EX5. Yeah, EX5 Edamon,
okay.
the force attack one. And I'm like, why do you expect him to just have this card on him? Who comes here with like, yeah, you know what? This EX5 Edamon, somebody's gonna need this. I've got this thing of bulk with me. If anybody asks me for a card, I got them. Like, who? Why? I don't know.
It's because it's half black, and I am known for playing a lot of black decks. So of course I have my EX5 Edamons.
Right.
Not extra stuff.
Exactly. So that's the story about how we met Ben, and now Ben's here on pod. And that's how that works.
It's a pleasure to have.
It took a while. It took a while to.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Get here, but we got here.
It's been 1,001 things in the pipeline. They're coming through, trickle down as we speak. You know how it is.
Hey, don't you worry. I know all too well about having content in the pipeline. I still have I think 2 videos in the pipeline myself, and Lord knows life just gets in the way sometimes. I get it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. So the first topic is the topic we always talk about, or I can't say always. Most times we talk about locals first.
95% of the time.
95% of the time
Okay.
is locals first. So Ben, as the guest, you get to go first. It's something we should start doing, Dan. I always have your ass talk first, but it should be guest talks first.
I agree.
Ben.
I feel so privileged. Oh, man.
So Ben, how was locals?
How is locals? Oh, man. Locals is fantastic. I have the privilege of, for my hometown, we can have locals I think we have locals almost every day except for Tuesdays and Sundays. Yeah. We have locals on Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Damn,
I can't guarantee. I can't guarantee that all of them are of reasonable size. They're all in different parts of my city, but I would say Thursday is the most sweatiest of them. And it's the one that actually got sponsored from a recent video. Be sure to check them out. Trinity Hoppy.
Cool.
All right, cool bet.
Other than that, though, locals is always a fun time. Nowadays, we're actually currently preparing for the upcoming regionals. We're having a regionals in Niagara Falls. So I don't know if you guys are willing to come down. Maybe I might see you guys there too. And lots of testing.
It's a possibility.
Oh, really? Ooh, okay. All right. That'll be hype. I'll be sure to catch you guys in the vlog then. That'd be so hype.
Barney, we got to go now. Now we must go now.
What about you guys, though? What's your locals like?
Oh, you're not gonna tell us what you played, your rounds? You know what I'm saying?
You want to tell all my rounds? I all between multiple different decks.
It's locals recap. Have at it.
Okay. So you want just the latest locals that I played with?
Whichever one you want to give us.
The most relevant to you.
Yeah.
Most relevant one. Oh, geez. Well, see, this is not...
Not many of us are blessed to have multiple locals like you. We are not, so we got one local to talk about. That's it.
Well, I do have a bit more added to that story, but that's fair. That's fair. In terms of what actually happened last locals, I'll go with the most recent one. I had the pleasure of playing with Rocks, and there's another fun story about Rocks because it is a deck that when it was first being revealed, I said, I will not play this deck. I refuse to play this deck. This deck sucks. This deck's garbage.
Why is that?
Because I hated the art style.
Wow.
You don't like Rocks?
No. I love Flows.
What?
Flows is great. Sunariza, fantastic. Progano, great. Even Landra, fantastic.
Pyramidi's face.
I can't do Pyramidi, bro. I can't. I just look at him like, bro, he's like a genie. And everyone else is telling me saying that's what's cool. And I'm like, we went from lizard to like land dragon, I'm getting some Garchomp vibes into whatever the heck Pyramidi is. So like, it just wasn't.
That's valid.
You know what? That's fair because I remember when the line was coming out and somebody was just joking like, yo, what if the level 6 is called Pyramidimon? And I was like, there's no fucking way. That's
they didn't say Pyramidi. They said Pyramid.
No, it was Pyramid. Yeah, Pyramidmon. Sorry. Pyramidmon. And I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, that's like too like mainstream. Like, this is not going to be a fucking pyramid.
Man's name is Pyramidi.
He's a fucking pyramid. He's an upside down pyramid. You might as well take him and rip him like a Beyblade. Wink, wink. Nudge,
hey,
nudge.
yo. Hey, yo.
Fucking pyramid.
Anyways.
Yeah, sorry. But before we get on tangent on Beyblade, thank you for catching that. So, out of humor, I was looking for a new black deck to play because I was kind of getting bored with what I was playing. So I decided, let's just play it. This is before the locals I'm about to currently talk about. But once I actually started playing it, I was like, damn, I hate it. I hate that this deck fits my playstyle perfectly. I fucking hate it. Because, it's a deck that focuses on setting up your sources in trash and then sucking them up as sources. Oh, you would be deleted, burst them out, get effects when you burst them out. I wonder what deck was really good at doing that. It's Mukendramon. I had over like years of experience in playing that deck. So once I tried Pyramidi, it just felt like a glove. And I was like, damn it. I still hate the deck. But my God, is it?
Still hate the deck.
But my God, is it fun?
But you hate the Digimon.
I hate the Digimon. Sorry,
you hate your boss monster.
Yeah,
but
I love the deck. I like the deck. So round one, this one was a more casual locals, mind you. But round one, I was up against Ice Snow. It was a bit more of a newer player coming back into the scene, so he was definitely just having fun and trying out more of a pure Ice Snow variant. He wants to use the big ice mommy. I mean, who doesn't love the big ice mommy? Am I right? Unfortunately, though, that matchup is unwinnable for them against Rocks because their entire gimmick is I want to strip your sources. And then I say, thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Right, exactly.
Gain one memory, de-evo, and pop that, and pop that. It was very unfortunate. So that one was an unfortunate easy 2-0, but he was a very good sport about it. Round two, we were up against Zafaga, actually. One of my friends, he recently got into playing a pure Zafaga, and he's just having fun with it. That one was a bit more of a close back and forth, but the problem with Zafaga is that it's, at least from my experience, it has a bit of trouble closing games. And once I establish an OTK, it's a wrap. So that's another win in my books.
Especially for your deck, you just go, all right, I'm going to chill in the back and you can't do anything.
Exactly. And even if I decide to promote out early, right, I have battle protection basically with Fragment. And if I sense a bottom deck coming, I'm like, okay, have you read Zofar Caboose?
Right, exactly.
Bro, it's like I was like, why is this card Final Zubagon Punch 2? Like
that's a fact.
It's actually like it feels like a custom card. And then after that, we were up against Royal Knights. That one was actually quite fun. Normally, I would have thought that I would have more trouble versus it. I mean, then again, every time I play with rocks, I always think I'm like, oh yeah, I lose this matchup every single time. But then it turns out to be not so bad. Only because I feel like I have the OTK potential to just randomly OTK out of nowhere. And all of their removal is usually based off of deletion. So usually when they try to do that, I'm able to get some bonus off of it, or my body just lives. And if they decide to go with like an or you can to minus 15k, the cool thing with that, with Fragment, is that you can trigger a Fragment multiple times. So I'll be able to just go, all right, so we'll just gain memory, and we're good. All right, fantastic. I'll start my turn at like 7,000 memory. I'm cool with that. But granted though, I think my opponent is also just rather new in facing the matchup. So I think I got off of that lightly. So I managed to win, but I wouldn't say it was he was familiar with the matchup. And I think the last round, what was I up against? Oh yeah, it was Sakuya. Yeah, Sakuya's bullshit.
Was it like pure Sakuyamon, or was it like Taolu?
It was copied strictly from the Worlds list, the one that came in third place.
Taolu is dead.
Yeah, Taolu is beyond dead, in my opinion. One thing I will say, though, about Sakuyamon, it is by far and large, at least when preparing for Niagara, it is the worst deck I have experience playing against. As in, like, it is the most miserable matchup to ever play against, because it is such a solitaire type strategy where it's like, all right, do you got it? No? All right, well, I win. Oh, you don't got, you do, or you do got it? Okay, I lose. Like, you're just gonna ruin mode me into oblivion, or you're just gonna Voldor arm me so I can't OTK. So that was in fact a wash for me, because they drew the nuts. Very fun.
Yeah, it checks out.
That's how I always felt about Fenrir. Exactly what you just described Sakuya is how I feel about Fenrir.
Oh my god.
I still hate it.
If I were to describe Sakuya, this is new Fenrir, but at least this deck takes way more pieces. And also, Sakuya, if I were to describe it now, it's actually more like Mirage 2. This is Yellow Mirage, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because if you want to think about it fundamentally, Mirage's entire gameplay loop is, I'm going to turbo out to a level 6, gain a bajillion memory in the process, and floodgate you into oblivion. So what does Sakuya do?
Especially newer version.
Exactly. And then what does Sakuya do? Sakuya does, all right, I'm going to combo into my level 6/7. I'm going to either wombo combo or kill you, gain a bajillion memory in the process, because, I mean, with all the reduced Evos and Evo for free, it's basically as if you gain a bajillion memory. Plus the Rika actually gains you memory whenever you use options too, so that's all fun. And then they end on, all right, Rune Mode -10 or Voldor Arm, no on plays and nothing can unsuspend. It's all the same. At least that's my personal opinion. I'm probably controversial in this, maybe. Who knows?
What a world we live in, where we're talking about Sakuyamon as this credible meta
tier 1
threat.
Yeah.
What a world.
I mean, I'm happy for them, but man.
Facts.
But why is it so miserable?
Well, I'm sure people feel the same way about Gallantmon. Like, I know I've heard people complain that they want War Growl X hit, and I'm sitting here from the outside looking in, because I haven't played Gallantmon, and I haven't played against it really all that much yet. So I'm sitting on the outside looking in. I'm like, you want War Growl X hit? Is it that bad playing against Gallantmon that you want something hit already?
Hey,
like, damn, they didn't even have their time to shine.
hey, Varney, if I may interject, some of my other friends in my locals, we call Gallantmon Red Mirage. It's just Red Mirage, because like
that's valid take.
Because also like they end on their level 6. If Mirage is on the board, you're like, all right, I better out this Mirage or I'm dead next turn. Same thing with the Gallant X with the War Growl underneath. I didn't out this Gallant X, I'm dead next turn.
100%.
So all we're missing now then is the trifecta of not Rapidmon, but Mega Gargomon. No, Mega Gargomon, Saint Gargomon to actually be half decent. That's what we need.
Are we gonna ignore my boy Justy like that?
Hey, I'll be cooking with Justimon lately.
After, but
I got something cooking in the works with it. Hold on.
Okay. I'm excited.
Doesn't mean it's gonna be like good. I'm trying to make it good, you know?
Every time I hear about Justy lists, I just say, "Oh, it's a Mother Shoto list." I'm like, and
Absolutely
I've tried them. I've tried Mother Shoto Justy, and I'm like, man, this deck's not even the good cards in this deck is not even the Justy cards.
Right.
It's just medieval plus Shoto.
Yeah. For what it's worth,
at that point, you might as well just scrap all the Justy and then play like ace stuff at that point. And then you just flip it all the way around back into the circle. Like, oh, this is back to Mother Shoto ace.
I wasn't on the Justimon train maybe like 2-3 weeks, like prior to 2-3 weeks ago. But like I was like going through my binder and I'm looking at I had 2 Justimon X's that I pulled sitting in there, and I threw them in my trade binder because I was like, I don't go fuck Justin. Fuck this Power Ranger looking motherfucker. Yeah.
Oh, let me get those?
It's too late. It's too late. I'm on the Cope train now. It's like, fuck this Power Ranger looking motherfucker. I don't give a shit. Justimon, blah, 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 mon. That's what I hear. But then I looked at those alts and I took Justimon, what is it? Blitzarm Ace?
Yeah.
Blitzarm Ace, yeah.
And I looked at that and I was like, this card's kind of cracked. And I was like, huh. All right, we're on the Cope train now. So I am officially a Justimon believer. Unfortunately, Dan, that means that my alt have been taken out of the trade binder. Therefore, I am now on the Justimon.
He became a believer because of me. That's the only reason.
That's good. That's my man. We need more Justimon believers. I mean,
so I'll talk about the case tournament. I was like, yo, let me get those now. And then you're like, oh, wait, let me get them now too.
I only wanted them for generic goodness. Just generic goodness. That's all I wanted them for originally.
Hey, I read Justimon Blitzarm Ace and I said, yo, this pops biting crunch. This shit's broken.
Yep,
that's
exactly.
A fact.
I got my MST for options. Let's go.
Yeah.
I got some jank of my own brewing. No big Justimon stuff, but some jank I've been on since BT15, since my boy Marvin came out. I know you know very well about him as a fellow Marvin believer yourself. You know, Marvin's jank ass machines unite. That's what I like to call my jank ass deck. It's not good. But boy, is it fun to think about how one day maybe some card comes out that makes this deck maybe kind of sort of maybe cracked.
Hey, you know, we always get constant new top ends. That's great. Like, for example, like Justimon Blitzarm is always good. I mean, Invisi, we know is crazy. And then, or even like Heavy Leo, right? Heavy Leo is still a good card in its own right. If you wanted to go for like a more machine cyborg type strategy.
Hey, Heavy Leo plus Altaria is crazy.
Exactly, right? There's nothing better than just go like, all right, Fortitude, all right, my turn, start a main, suck one in. Oh,
yep.
Feels good. Or not even, you just go like, I just want to put a Marvin Jackson in, just in case. I'm a blocker now.
Yep.
Valid,
you know what we need? No, this isn't a need. This is a want. You know what I want? I want a tamer that on attack, give me a machine or cyborg from my trash into source. That's what I want. I want something to do that, because the one thing that I miss in the deck currently is if you're not playing Machine Dramon, well, it's not even Machine Dramon. If you're not playing Chaos, good luck getting your sources back. And the sources are great. Now, if I get an inheritable that lets me tuck Machine and Cyborg under, yes, I know Machine Dramon's going to. That also means that Marvin and his jank ass machines can. That's what I'm really here for.
Yeah. I mean, that would be quite the want, I'd say. But
yes,
yeah. If I were to say anything for me, if I were to have a tamer that gives me something, is that I want a vortex type effect, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Where like an end of turn swing of some sort. And the reason why is because Black is always known for having rather cracked top ends, not as much of a core. And also sometimes you will go into your cracked top end, but usually you will end your turn, which means that's why they make up for it by having a whole bunch of protections, because it's entire play. So I was like, please don't kill this. I will get my value next turn.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah. So if we can have a vortex type ability, we're like, let me at least swing with this thing, bro. And then, okay, kill it all you want. Because removal has gotten quite strong as of late.
That's definitely true. I can most certainly agree with that. That's one of my biggest problems with Marvin's machines as a whole. Like SOC Chaos Drum.
Chaos Dramon?
Chaos Dramon, yeah.
Okay. I was fucking getting confused. I was getting confused between Chaos Dramon and Chaos Dramon.
Chaos Dramon, bro. No,
so
every time I read that card, I'm like,
trust me, I know. I know.
Why is every text on that card a detriment, bro?
Yep. The one thing
why
I was
is it
like,
not Black Box Machine Dramon? Like, why? This doesn't make no sense.
Why is it not Black Box Machine Dramon? Why does it? Listen,
doesn't protect from battle.
I was like, the one thing that I want you to do is like be this big bad, and I'm like, I get it. Like you came out in the same set as Mega Dramon. Mega Dramon's the SR, so obviously like you're not supposed to be good. But then like, I don't know. I take a look at all the rares that are coming out recently, and I'm like, we could have gotten a rare Chaos Dramon that's better than what they gave us.
If I'm not mistaken, though, I think that Chaos Dramon was in the same set. Is it not BT16? The same set as Dorogora? Which that means that, yeah, if I'm not mistaken,
okay. Yeah,
it was. So. Yeah, so that means the rare slot was already Dorogora. We already know how cracked a rare Dorogora was.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that card is crazy.
Reinforces the point. It's like SOC as a whole, like, I love the idea of the archetype that they thought up, but like, man, you couldn't like take it any further. Like, there's so much more to explore here.
I mean,
where did you leave us?
I think it's still quite. Well, I mean, I think they're just very cautious, actually, if I'm being honest.
Yes,
because it was already pretty strong on release, and even during Nat's format, even though I didn't do as well as I hoped, I still think it did. It was doing quite well. Like it has like the potential to do so, particularly black base in particular, because my quote unquote worst matchup was purple hybrid, which if you saw my deck profile, we actually cook purple hybrid, the traditional variant, not Apocalypse. Apocalypse they cook us. We have zero chance.
My boy.
Yeah. Just killing tamers. I love killing tamers.
I mean, agreed. That's the one thing that I love the most about Mega Dramon, and why I'm like, man, I need to find a way to make you good so I could pop all these little pesky ass motherfucking 3-cost tamers. But there's just not enough ways to make it viable. But Justimon.
And
then I get to thinking, but Justimon, maybe he will be our true savior.
Oh boy.
And there goes the cope train. That's why Varney is on the Justimon cope train.
Terrible.
All right.
Not even for the good reasons, just for all the bad reasons.
Marvin is all the reason that I need. All right, let's get that straight.
Not the fact that you can OTK someone at 5 security with Justimon.
I don't want to OTK anybody.
No.
I don't want to OTK anybody. I want to establish the presence of a big bad machine, and I want people to look at it and be like, damn, how am I gonna deal with that? That's what I want. It's called Digimon. And he's not good right now. Exactly.
Well, hey, EX9 though.
Yeah,
EX9 though. Shit, even EX10. No. Oh yeah, that's digital monsters, right? The VPET.
That's EX9.
No, that's EX9.
Yeah, and because EX10 is Sinister Order, which I mean, Dark Masters.
That's Blackboard Gray, right?
Right, but how are they going to give us...
They reconfirmed APOC in it and stuff.
Right. How are they going to give us other stuff that maybe could potentially support Machine Dramons?
By giving us a Machine Dramon that says only evolve into a white. Right. That's how they do it. And I was so pissed when I saw that too. I was like, bro, come on. I get it, but come on.
I tried so many ways to cope with that in like regular Machine Dramon. I was like...
It's just like, nope.
Hey, the Giga Dramon was good though.
The Giga Dramon was good.
The Giga Dramon is good for Machine.
That's why I hope that, they really key in on that set being the villain set, and they give us just entire lines like Piedmon. Because Piedmon is, I love Piedmon, but man, I couldn't even make a Piedmon deck if I wanted to. Because
Nightmare Soldiers?
I couldn't even make a Piedmon deck if I wanted to. I thought what I said. Because I can't even play all the like the old Piedmon. I love that Piedmon, but man, he's so power crept. And then we have the new Piedmon, who's great. Then yeah, you have to play Nightmare Soldiers. But I want a whole line. I want like I guess Demi Wizardmon is Piedmon's line, right?
Piedmon tribal type deck.
I want Piedmon tribal, exactly. I don't want the field of Nightmare Soldiers. I want just Piedmon. And then I want just Machinedramon. So for Machinedramon, the hope is that we get a line for Machinedramon that is Machine Cyborg that I can then siphon and take for Marvin's jank ass.
It all goes back.
You know how they say like Machinedramon, you know, that's our support. No. Machinedramon support, that's Marvin's jank ass machine support. That's my support.
See, me and Ben at least. We've been on day one Machinedramon. You're just now a recent Coper Machinedramon, okay?
No.
We've been playing this shit since EX1, okay?
Say it right. Marvin's jank ass machines.
I have to know, Dan, were you on all versions of Machine from EX1?
All versions.
I was on
versions.
that Beeman, Kaiser Nail.
USA, baby. Yup.
Yeah.
Kaiser Nail. That's what I call it. They call it USA.
USA.
Red, white, and blue, baby. With a little bit of black. What was I used to call it, Barney? United States of Machines, I think it was.
United States of Machines.
Yeah. And like the older podcasts, I used to like we talk about Machinedramon all the time, and I was like, calling some new name every week because I was like, yo, you try this red base version? Nah, what about this blue base with V-Mons and then Kaiser nailing, you know, the chaos?
Yeah, no,
it was just like
I even took it one step further. I even tried the old purple support. No, the purple variant.
Yeah, I tried that too. Yeah.
All right, Gabu into Gabu X. Oh, yeah. I got blue now, broken, and then I hit to 1, so it doesn't matter. So it's fine.
Yeah, I've done it all. I've done it all too.
Yeah.
Even with the Commandramons at the bottom to protect from bum ass Leviathan stupid ruling.
Oh yeah,
that was a headache.
All right, so Dan, how was locals?
Yeah.
One hell of a tangent. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what DigiPod is all about.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways.
Oh shit! All right, so.
This is now the Dan and Ben show. All
right. Tell me that. How was locals?
It's good. It was good. You know, I was playing Omnimon because you know I got the binder, so I was like, I want to bling out the deck and just show off. It's good. It's just, man, I realized why some of my foils were like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like bending a little bit.
Crinkling.
Warped.
Yeah, warped. I couldn't think of warp. Because I had it next to my laptop and the laptop will emit heat and since it was just chill there. And even though in the deck box, I opened it, I'm like, why is this so hot? And I was like, why is it so warped? I was like, oh, now I know why some of my decks were really badly warped and like Omnimon is super bad. And then so I put in the new cards, cool, great. I want to try some stupid text just to see if it works. Like for example, Last Guardian plus Omekamon plus OmniX. Last Guardian. I knew immediately after one game, I was like, this is trash. Let's not do this ever again. You know what I'm saying? I was playing like for a fun game and I was like, how am I gonna play this? I can't, you know, there's no requirements or anything. Shit, I need Greymon on board, the secret rare Greymon. Oh wait, I also need a Omnimon on board. So I was like, all right. So I got the Greymon and I was like, play this for 4? Oh, this feels terrible. Bomb deck everything? Great. I didn't even hit an Omnimon. Great. Fantastic. But if I get Omni on board, I get protection.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever get that Omnimon on board?
Of it. I did.
Oh, okay.
But because you win, it doesn't matter. It's like when you get to an Omnimon side, you should be winning. You know what I'm saying? So like it didn't matter.
No, it just means that you can hard drop Omni Ace.
Yeah, right.
GG, you know?
Yeah,
oh, of course.
Right, you're right. OmniX came up a little bit too, and it seemed that Omekamon came up more as a blocker than it did for its own stupid effect. I was like, this is cool. Because I decided to put everything at 2 of. So I was like, let's put 2 Last Guardian, 2 Omeka, 2 OmniXs just to try out. I want to see it more consistently, just to try and see how it will work with the deck. And so, definitely Last Guardian after that tournament, cutting out Last Guardian, putting Omekamon to 1, and OmniX maybe a 1 of in the deck if I even keep it. It's just, I feel like the Alter B is just so much better for closing out games than it is, because you could close out games way sooner. And so that's what I definitely learned. Just Alter B is still the guy for that deck, you know what I'm saying? Now you're OmniX. And OmniX is goated. That card's fantastic. But anyways, round 1, I ran into Royal Knights. I was like, if I don't open the nuts, I'm cooked. I already knew, because I've been doing a lot of playtesting against Royal Knights, and that got so crazy. And it's just so much better than it used to be. And so I opened probably every single game. I bricked almost, because like I said, it was so hard to shuffle the cards. And so they were sticking together too easily and stuff like that. And so I started off slow as hell, but he didn't have a great start either. So it got to the point where I was somehow alive by turn 5, 6, something like that. Like it took a while, surprisingly. And I was like, all right, you have an Omni X on board. You got a couple things going on. You have like 2, 3 Last Guardians. You got a whole bunch of stuff. And I finally drew a War Greymore Metal Guru. I was like, I got 2 or 3 tie and mats on board. I pop off here. So I popped off, dealt with his board. I attempted to kill Omni X a few times. I made him use the Last Guardians, and then I would raid over it, unsuspend raid over it again.
Nice, nice.
I had the tie that gives plus 2k and draw, and so I kept dealing. I got dealt with it, and then I think it was the next turn after he tried to deal with it, couldn't for some reason. I don't remember what it was.
Last Guardian came up.
No, it wasn't Last Guardian. It wasn't Last Guardian. I think it was. Oh, I think I know what it was, because I also had a War Greymore Metal Garurumon set up, and I blast aced. Okay. And so, cool. I'm at a point where I need to win right now, and so he's at 3-4 security. I'm like, I can win right now if I go into Omni. I swing, unsuspend, swing, trash security, do whatever, and then go into Omni X. I had to use my tie for the first Omni stack. So my second Omni stack had no buffs. I swing, trash security, cool, it was nothing. I unsuspend, nothing. Swing again, and I hit an Examon. I was like, who plays Examon in this deck anymore? I was like, ain't no way.
Which Exa? Which Exa?
It was the Ace, I think it was.
The Ace.
I was like, who runs this? I was like, all right, whatever. And I lose because I was like, I needed that to live to go Omni X and then swing for game. And so overflow, and I just end up losing. And then game 2, I got blitzed the fuck out. Like, it was just bad.
Oh, really?
He had everything. Turn like 3, I think it was, he went Omnimon, bring everybody out. I was like, scoop.
You got it.
Like, I had a good start in rookies, but I never got to like a Metal Guru or War Grey, whichever one it was I was missing. And I was like, all right, I'm a good searching, boom, boom, got Omnimons, got the teams I'm set up. I was missing that one piece. The next draw after that play, I was like, here it is. And I was just too late for it.
Yeah, tough.
Round 2, I played against... What did I play against round 2? I won that one. Oh, Dinomon.
Dino, nice. Was it Galaxy Dino or just Dino?
No, regular Dino featuring Medieval, and he had the Rusty in it.
We don't have degenerates that are locals.
Depending on who you ask, it's usually like you and I or something.
I'm not a degenerate.
All right.
I don't bring degenerate decks to locals anymore. I try to show up to locals with a fair and balanced deck. You know, I'm trying not to scare anybody.
Sure. Anyway,
if you would like me to show up, see, all right, Ben, let me tell you something. The real reason I don't show up to locals is because I know if I show up, I will whoop Dan's bitch ass every motherfucking time.
You're such a liar.
Everybody else
it's not
there.
Even funny.
So
you're such a liar.
I tried to give them the reprieve.
Didn't you get cooked by
Miles?
Miles?
Their ass whooped. All right. I try to give them
new
the reprieve of not getting their ass.
You're such a liar. It's not even funny. But all right, keep coping to yourself. Anyways, so I played against Dino, and again, not that hard of a matchup because Omni when you do the DNA is double removal, so it was like, all right.
And you bottom deck too, right? What you get?
I'm a bottom deck Dino, and you're not fortitude, and then you have a Medieval on board because he had like a Medieval plus Dino at one point. I was like, oh, that's a cool board. We'll bottom deck Dino, we'll pop medieval, and then we're gonna raid into whatever you had else. And I was like, what are you gonna do now? It was like not much for them to could do. Game 2, I was way too slow. He ended up getting it. And then game 3 again. I even had the setup and everything. It was just too much, too strong. Omniax for game for that one. And then round 3, played against Fenrir Lugamon, and he just opened the nuts.
Not that dumb fucking dog again.
he BT14. He was playing the BT14 version.
Oh, okay,
That's even worse. But it's even worse, right? Because that's when you know that they worked for it. And then, so all that hate, all that vitriol that Dan has for that stupid purple dog, it just comes right back because he's like, fuck, I got cooked by this motherfucker because he got set up.
First off, this man win Evo Luga. All right, cool. He's gonna be slow. Ain't too worried about. Hard place high random. Ain't no problem. Cool. I got 4 memory play with. I'm gonna set up a tamer. I'm gonna Evo in the back. I'm gonna set up a second tamer. I'm good. I'm good to go. Next turn. Blow. I'm ready. He goes. All right. Raise Luga. Effect. We'll play the dual tamer from hand or whatever it was. We're gonna Evo to Lugar. Effect. Trash. Soul Lugar. Effect. Evo. Effect to Soul Lugar. Trash Fenrir. Effect. Evo to Fenrir. Play out 3 bodies. He's in mid swing, so that means he gains Alliance. Then he gains 2 memory back. He's still within the 3. Unsuspend. Swing. Unsuspend game. I was like, yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
fuck. Damn, fuck.
It's like, what else you can do about that? Like, I was like, all right. And then he went like, because I think he had the Dino B, maybe it was, or like Black Auto, wherever the last swings it was.
I'm assuming he had Dino B because usually that's just 5 swings if you high roll like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, it's not much I can do about that. Like, game 2, same thing. I was like, I bricked up. I was like, yeah, they say enjoy, have fun. I'm gonna give you 5 because I got nothing to do with this. I was like, enjoy. And he just went blah 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 combo game. I was like, yep. I still hate this dog no matter what version of Fenrir Lugamon it is. I hate this stupid dog with a passion. And I'm like, this is why Balmon needs to go to, because in all versions slow down, not just regular Taki. You got the BT14 one that slowed down. Speaking of, that BT14 one topped the regional too.
Did it? Nice.
Yeah. Yep. And so or Otika, whichever one it was. So it's not like the deck is dead, because that was never a bad deck. It was just like
Takamikazuchi is
high roll turn 2 versus turn 3 win. I'll take my high roll turn 2 chance. I'm
still though. I don't know if they could only hit one thing out of those purple dogs. I'm okay with Takamikazuchi dying because my God, that deck is so miserable. Holy
100%. 100%. No questions asked. Definitely.
Yeah.
But my God, the other version, it's just I just hate the fact that you still play with a -2 memory. It's just the most dumbest thing ever. And that was
sure.
the worst design they could have ever done in this game is by giving a deck the ability to be like, my turn is still my turn at -2 memories. The dumbest thing ever. And it's just, every time I see him, just like,
no. Yep. All the Fenrir players was like, oh no, it's such a detriment. I have to give my opponent 3 memory minimum. I can't choke them.
God.
Oh no.
Wolfie effing do. The worst that used to have me so sick. It was like regular talk. You're like, I don't know if I could keep turn in my play, but I'm gonna try. And then like they put me all the way to like 10, and then it's like, you know what you're about to do. Why you act like this? All right, we're gonna go to Taki, zoop, go to 3, gain the memory, go to 2, keep turn still. I'm just like, I hate you with a passion right now.
I hate it. No. There's literally a Take Mikazuchi player in my locals. Where like he would clap me, no problem, every single time. And I don't even get a chance to retaliate. He made me change my deck like 3 times, thinking like, okay, he's playing this local today. Let me tech for it. I could surely could beat it. He turn 2s me every fucking time, and I go like, damn, this deck is crazy. And he goes like, yeah, honestly, it's only just against you. And I always get the turn 2 so consistently, and I'm like, that doesn't make me feel better, dude.
No, right? Because it's always you that gets
it's
turn
only
2.
me.
It's never, people with the Fenrir players like, I only turn 2 like out of 10 games, maybe once or twice.
Right,
But
it's
that once or
those
twice
people
is
who
always against you.
Always.
It never fails.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
And on the rare chance that I do get a game off him, it's like, oh damn, Yo, your deck's so bullshit, bro. I bricked. I bricked. What do you mean you bricked? You mean you didn't get the turn 2 on me? Fuck you.
It never fails too. That's always the thing. 'Cause that's why I hate about that. Cause like, all right, did they see their pieces? Auto win. Did they see they didn't see their pieces? There's a chance you win. Because there's still a chance they pop off regardless.
Yeah.
I hated that deck. Oh my god. I hated everything about it.
Fenrir players are the worst, aren't they?
Oh yeah, you're one of them.
I have nothing against Fenrir players unless you play Taka. Actually, no. I have nothing against Fenrir players. I just hate the deck. Nothing against the person.
Oh no, everything against them. The person, the deck, the dog, AG, everything about it. Secrets, novel, fuck everything.
Yo, AG's just a boy. He's trying to live his life with his dog, man.
No, not even just that. You know how angry I was? Because after we saw BT14 Luca, right? BT15 and BT16, we saw Ryuda and we saw Doru. And I'm like, Yup, we sure don't mind Link from trash.
I hated that. It was like, bro, why do they have the ability to do that? Like, that's not fair.
They go like, all right, you get a Digimon? Oh, I milled a tamer. Oh.
Raise Luga, effect, we'll grab from trash anyways.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. It's terrible. I hate it. But, yeah, another poor performance by me in locals 2 weeks in a row. We gotta, get back up top again. We're doing terrible 2 weeks in a row. It's okay.
It's the growing pains until Adventure comes out.
Oh, I'm so excited for Adventure.
Yeah?
I'm so excited for it. We're about to get into it. We're both OGs, we love OG Adventure. So, it's just...
I love OG Adventure, actually, but fun fact for you, it's actually not my favorite season. My favorite season is actually considered controversial, unfortunately.
Don't say Frontiers.
It's not Frontiers. I hate Frontiers.
It's
okay.
Appmon.
No, actually. Appmon, I actually enjoy, but I couldn't get into it at the time.
The only other thing that could be controversial is Cross.
Oh, really? Okay, then never mind then. According to my locals, I love Savers or Data Squad.
I was going to say it would have been Savers. That would have been my second pick.
I don't think that would have been controversial. But anyways, we'll get into it.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
I have a couple comments now that I've sat here and I've listened to you guys talk about locals. Number one, Royal Knights. I think people sleep on the fact that that's a deck that is so heavily... No, I'm not sleeping on the deck. That's not what I'm saying. They sleep on the fact that that deck is kind of versatile in what it's able to do. And I say that specifically because whenever I'm building a deck, I tend to just jam all sorts of information I can about the deck. And in particular, I use the 2020 Discord, all the conversation channels that they have on the various decks, just to see, where everybody's at, what their thoughts are, the deck building process, yada, yada. One card I saw everybody completely shit on was BT13 Alpha. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I get it. And then obviously this was pre-list, but I'm still like Purple Hybrid would be your biggest problem, but Purple Hybrid is a deck that's going to fuck you
regardless.
No matter what way you ask them, even if you ask them to fuck you politely, they will still do it egregiously. So it doesn't matter what you do. You should just plan for your other matchups, and then just whatever happens with Purple Hybrid. So I've been through a couple iterations with my deck, and I recently got, I don't remember, I think I put it in for the mirror because I was like, this will help me in the mirror, and I don't really care for the recovery Alphamon like that. So I put it in, and I ended up playing against Demon Lords. And I was like, this isn't like an unwinnable, it's not unwinnable at all. It's a nice back and forth. I would say it's a straight 50-50 matchup. I was going to say
post BT20, at least in my experience, it's like 10-0 matchup, like unlosable for Knights. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I think so. I think it depends on the Demon Lord player you're playing against. Dan, I was playing against Plague Doc. No, it wasn't Plague Doc. Who the fuck was I playing against?
JJR.
No, I was playing against JJR Venice. Yeah. I was playing against JJR Venice, and man, we was going back and forth. It was like a World Heavyweight Championship type match because. I came out, I smacked him up game 1. Then game 2's shit was like a slog fest. And then he ended up closing it out. And then game 3, and now granted, there was definitely misplays on both of our parts in between. But the plays that he was able to do to prevent me from doing the plays that I would have been able to do. I think it's a very matchup dependent thing. So I would say it's probably maybe not 50, but more player skill on that level. But Alphamon, he saved my ass twice in a row.
I was gonna say I'm personally inclined to disagree, only because Omekamon means they can't win.
If they have Biting Crush on the board, it means that Omekamon doesn't do anything.
I mean, that is also true, but like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Isn't Biting Crunch not also like a 2 to 3 of in most Demon Lords lists now?
I don't know exactly what it's at, but I would
Usually,
presume if they're expecting to face Royal Knights, you're just gonna up your Biting
I was
Crush
gonna say
ratio.
that because you have access to Purge, at least from my experience, when I see like a 2 skilled like Royal Knights and Demon Lords players face each other, if they don't end up popping that Biting Crunch early from all the purges and so on, and early plays from like Cool Boy even, the Demon Lords might just lose before they even get omnied.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I saw my purges.
Oh, fair enough.
I wish I
Okay,
could
never
say-
mind. JK.
But for what it's worth, no, it was like I said, that's why I believe it's more of a player skill match, because
Fair enough.
I knew what was obviously I know that playing off of Purge would proc Biting Crush. So I didn't want to like, the one thing you can do is just like do your play and just kind of like, I don't know, expect things to happen, so to say. You kind of got to plan it out. So I tried to map things out in a way, but he didn't fall for any of the traps, and he basically, there was a point he had 2 Biting Crush. He procced 1 and he kept 1, which basically shut off my Mekamon play.
Sure.
And the same thing with Medieval, because he did have Medieval in the deck as well. So it turns off so Mekamon win button. And there were definitely scenarios that like he should have sequenced his plays differently to won the game. But that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is BT13 Alpha. That motherfucker came up twice because I played him, because what had happened was like he fucking turboed. He played like a creepy mon and he milled shit. There was 2 cards under his gate. The next turn there were 4 cards, and then there were 6 cards. And I was like, what the fuck? It's turn 4. I was like, I haven't seen this in a minute. I played the Alphamon. It saved me from the first Ogudo play. And then it came up to my next turn. I had a Genkumon in hand. I dropped the Genku, dropped the Alpha, and then it saved me again. And I was like, thank God. Because if I didn't have this, there was no way I was gonna survive this Okudo onslaught. But ET13 Alpha, slept on card. And there's so many different Royal Knights that we have now that I think people just kind of, what I was saying, Dan, when you were shaking your head, I just think people sleep on some of the choices that you have for Royal Knights.
That's fair.
It's not it's a straightforward deck, relatively speaking, but
The lists aren't cut and dry, is what you're saying.
Right. You have a lot of different options depending on what you want to do, because there's so many, and we're constantly getting Royal Knight support. I mean, we're getting 2 straight sets of Royal Knight support.
I hope they all win Digivolve effects, so you can't use
Oh,
any of them.
please.
The second
Actually,
shot,
no.
they won't
Honestly,
be, though.
honestly,
I know
knowing
they
that they
won't be.
are, knowing that how much Royal Knights play a role in Cyber Sleuth, I think it's almost guaranteed they're going to be direct Royal Knight support.
But supposedly they said in their like text of what to expect from them, they said the way they explained the Royal Knights, it would sound like it was going to be a separate dex from the current Royal Knight deck.
Oh, okay. I did not.
So
read
the way
that.
they worded it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're just like on play effects anyways, so it doesn't matter,
I mean, you never know. They could go a whole like Seekers / Chronicle route from like BT20. Like if this card says Royal Knights in it.
But it didn't matter. We saw it didn't matter because Chronicles, Alphamon, and Oryukin are both Royal Knights traded regardless. So it's like, we thought we could keep it locking Chronicles. Psych, take it anyways. And they're probably the top 2 cards that help that deck get busted.
Yeah.
Yo, Oryukin, that card is
dumb as all hell.
stupid. Let me tell you, Omni, play out Oryukin, swing. As long as you don't hit a removal option that targets your level 7, gain 3 memory. You don't have enough swings, that's fine. Drop Omekamon, it has rush because you just gained 3 memory. Swing, and then Omni X for game. Easy GG, no read. Oryukin,
Crazy. Insane.
I wasn't like, when I first read the card, I didn't I wasn't like, oh, this card's like busted. I was just like, oh, it's mid. Sorry. No, sorry. Not that it's mid. Oh, looking at the old Oryukin, it's all right. It doesn't like old Oryukin, that shit was cracked. It's like, yeah, we're gonna stack all this shit and pull back 7 memory. But yeah, playing the card and seeing what Chronicles can do with it. Yeah, that shit is.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I had the complete opposite reaction when I first saw Oryukin.
Same. I remember being like, this is crack.
I literally first saw Oryukin like, okay, first effect, what does it do? Minus 15k till end of opponent's turn. Good. Outs Magna X. Fantastic. What does it do? Recover 1, trash security. Good. All right, deals the damage and you heal the damage. Good. All right. Already a good card. Already a good Jogress target. What's that effect? Oh, all turns if a security is removed, gain 3 memory. Oh, this card's broken. All right, awesome, fantastic. Right. This card is broken. It steals turn on
what's
Jogress.
What's the trace on that thing? What's that trace on that thing?
Oh yeah,
nice. Fuck. Like.
See, I was too busy looking at the what's the trace on thing? Oh, X antibody. Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, black X antibody top end.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I've definitely come around on Oryukin. Roll Knights as a whole has been great. The second comment I had to make was when you were talking about like Ice Snow versus Rocks. One thing I appreciate about Digimon when they make mechanics, people talk mad shit on Digimon, and I just want to tell all of them to hold my dick because the one thing that Digimon doesn't do is introduce a mechanic that requires the introduction of another mechanic to say when your opponent would do this, no. And I specifically target One Piece and Dragon Ball with that logic because One Piece
I have no experience with that, so yeah.
Dragon Ball was like fucking horrible with it. One Piece had at one point they got obviously they have like on KO effects, and then they got a card that read place one of your opponent's cards into the battle area. Therefore, it doesn't get KO. It just gets placed. And I'm just like, what the fuck
lawyer
is
game.
Yeah, what the fuck is the purpose of an on KO effect? Dragon Ball did the same shit. You had Barrier. We talked about this with Dan Vang. You had Barrier. This card can't be chosen by your opponent's card effects. And then you got the introduction of choose one of your opponent's cards, ignoring Barrier. Fan-fucking-tastic. We have introduced a mechanic that required us to introduce more text to bypass that mechanic. Digimon doesn't do that. Most of our effects play well into each other, and it's just generic. Can't be deleted, can't be bounced to hand or deck, can't be added to security, can't be DP reduced, can't be digivolve. I think those are like the 5 biggest ones. Yeah. Because it's probably the 5 biggest, the 5 removal. We haven't had the need to say like, oh, and then this Digimon's Digievolution cards can't be removed. No, it's just,
I was gonna say, did you read the new Destro though?
Right, that's Destro, right? Okay, so I take that back. I take that back. We do have that.
It has a really funky wording that basically just says no D-Evo and no source strip.
And no source strip.
And I've also worded it in a very specific way to say fuck you to Cross 7 Superior mode.
Yes,
because Cross 7 Superior mode also is like, wait, why is this just better D-Evo? This is bullshit.
Right, exactly. And we haven't had... We are 28 sets deep. And we've had power creep, but we haven't gotten there. And One Piece had that in their first like 6 or 7 sets. And Dragon Ball had that shit in their first like 12-ish, 15-ish, not even, maybe like 12-ish sets. So I just wanted to say like, I like that. And I like where the game is headed. That's all I have to say. Speaking about Galactic, as a fellow Black Deck enjoyer, how do you feel about Ragnarok Cannon?
It looks so fun. Oh, dude,
I'm just ready to blow people's backs out with that shit. Like it's just gonna be crazy.
I read Ragnarok Cannon. I'm like, so you're telling me this deck has a win condition?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was the deck's biggest problem, in my opinion. Like after BT18, like the deck had great ramp, great search, great bounce back potential. Like everything you'd want in a top tier deck. But then it comes down to the age old question of, so how do you win? And Ragnarok Cannon just says, I win.
I'm
like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And also, I'll have you know, when I was play testing with Step preparing for this year's nationals. One thing I missed as I was play testing my black base SOC, I was like, man, I miss machines trash security, dog. I'm sick and tired of hitting gas and security, dude. Every time I go, all right, swing, 2 checks, all right, check training, check tamer. All right, I lose. You got it, bro. It's over. And then I see Ragnarok can and it says, ooh.
So just bypass all of that.
Oh, all right, perfect. Everything I would want to see. So I'm very excited to play with it. Very much so.
The Demon Lords player I was playing against, I didn't want to delete any of my shit, so he kept dropping chaos modes on me. And at one point, he ended up at like 8 or 9 security. And I was just like sitting there thinking, man, I can't wait to play Galactic. Because I can just say, how much security do you have? All right. Swing, option, trash down to 1, and hold my dick. Can't wait to do that to people. All those security hoarders, get them out of here.
Yeah. Yo, bro. Dare I say it? Bring Jet Sylvie back to 4. It don't matter. I was joking, by the way. Please don't bring Jet Sylvie back to 4. The card is so bullshit.
I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying, fuck that count,
Yeah, I do like it. Now, is it too strong? I'm not sure yet. Right now, when I was testing with the deck myself, it really does want to reward you for playing xenophobic, but I won't lie, I got some text of my own, so which I'll definitely be cooking up.
Xenophobic is a word right there. All right.
Yeah.
I for one am a fan of xenophobic decks.
I'm so sorry. Am I not allowed to say that on your podcast? I'm so sorry. My bad.
No, you're fine.
Listen, you're totally fine. It just, the word is fucking funny to describe tribal decks. If you guys don't know what xenophobia means. So yeah. Yeah, that's that.
I thought you were about to describe it.
You wanted me to describe xenophobia? Oh, hold on.
You said it, the way you worded it, so you were about to describe it. Sorry.
Xenophobia, the dislike of or prejudice against things or people from other countries, but like they use this in sci-fi to talk about like the xenophobia of aliens and shit. So it's really just like the fear of dislike of anything being perceived as like not what you are, a human.
AKA racism.
AKA, yeah, you're fucking racist. So Ben, would you say? No, I'm not gonna ask that.
Wow.
What? Wow. I don't know what he was saying, but I got a feeling.
I was gonna make some half-witted ass comment about being racist towards like Galaxy decks, because Galaxy decks are the epitome of being non-xenophobic. They like everything but their own top end.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a Palomon, but like they look at like a Grace Nova and Dianamon, and they're like, yeah,
bye.
No. Dinomon, Gallantmon, Medieval Gallantmon, Invisimon, Volcanic Dramon. They're all yummy. My top end though, trash.
A tamer is too good. A tamer is a little too good for sure.
Gots to go. So is that half that deck?
I was gonna say that if anything, if you wanted to elegantly hit it without neutering the deck, is you just errata it, which is just saying it should only evo into Nightclaw/Lightfang, because why does it go into any level 6?
So prior to, I'm gonna lead this off with saying, I'm gonna give Dan, the thing that he loves. He loves these words of affirmation. That's Dan's love language. He loves words of affirmation, right? So Dan, I'm sorry, you were right and I was wrong. Prior to like a couple days ago, shut the fuck up. Prior to a couple days ago, I was like, I'm like impartial on Galaxy. I don't think it should be hit, yada, yada, yada. I played against Galaxy over the weekend, and then I've been brought to the light. Fuck that deck.
Because he wasn't in the. It's because you wasn't in the trenches doing the testing for Nats. That's why.
Right.
Yeah. If you were actually doing it with me, well, Ben, I'm sure it went through and everything testing for all those decks, you would know Galaxy gotta go.
It's really funny that only maybe because I've been a black main all my life, that Galaxy has been one of those decks where it's like, yes, I agree, 100% bullshit, but it's one of those degenerate decks where I'm like, you know what, I'm okay facing this one, because one thing that is a weakness of Galaxy is removal, which is if you are able to consistently out there stack the moment they promote, then you're kind of okay. I'm not saying you're favored. I'm just saying you're kind of okay.
But prior to, ban list and Mirage going to 1, were you able to deal with 2 or 3 Mirages on one board with a Hexablow chilling too? Sometimes you just can't.
Yeah. You're like,
and that's the problem with the deck. There's times you can legit get double level 6s on board with a Mirage plus a Hexablow, and you go, can you do anything about this? Yes? All right, you might win. No, auto lose,
Yeah,
that's a problem.
That's bullshit. Yeah, for sure.
So I would be inclined to agree, but because I'm now on the fuck Galaxy boat, I couldn't out the level 4. And I was like, it is what it is. It's just the level 4. I can get rid of everything else but the level 4. He didn't have anything crazy. I was fucking mistaken. I don't even remember what the exact board state was, but all I know is that that following turn, I got Omni-X'd. And I was like, but it was just a level 4. There wasn't a Lunamon. There was no Coronamon underneath.
Oh, there wasn't a Lunamon underneath?
A level 4. And he was like, I'll tap. Yeah, it was like a hard drop like Fire, and then he played the Lunamon, then he digivolved, and then Tamer reverse shenanigans, gain memory, yada yada. And then, but the one time he fucking did the Tamer effect to regress whatever, to then digivolve into Omni-X, and I was like, that does work.
For free.
That's a free.
You know why I hated seeing the free IPM.
Paladin mode. Now it's Omni-X.
Now it's Omni-X, which is probably worse and more aggressive.
It definitely is, because it's like, all right, cool. Bottom deck, not even delete, which is the bane of more decks' existence. So bottom deck. And then I have Raid Piercing, so I'm going to swing and pierce. So I'm going to clear your board. And then I'm going to swing at the end of the turn. And I was just like, what the fuck? Oh, and to boot, what pissed me off even more is, never have I thought I would hate opponent's turn plus 2k until it's a fucking 17k Omni-X that I can't get over. I'm like,
should be 18, right?
Yeah, 18.
It should be 18, yeah.
Yeah, 18k. And I was just like, I like generic engines and I want to support generic engines, but I don't want to support generic engines when they do this shit for free / so cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, if you wanted to fix the Tamer, as I said, you either errata it, or if you want to make it, if you don't want to go through the trouble of errating it that way and keep it semi-generic, make it so that is the thing you regressed can digivolve, not anything.
That I agree with. Why is it Dan? You've played Dawn and Dusk, and I don't remember. If you regress a fucking Digimon in your game, can you digivolve another member of your party? Is that how that works?
No. The whole purpose of it was to increase your your API and your overall stats. Yeah, your stats actually carry over to the next one, which is kind of what you do, because you de-evolve, you put the top card as an inheritable. It's as if you carried your stats over and then you digivolve.
Right. You play Cyber Sleuth Varn, it's the same thing.
Yeah, exact same thing.
It's the same game mechanic.
I'm gonna start a
This is what they need to do. It's easy fix. Here.
Just change it from one of your Digimon to that Digimon.
I got it. Hold on.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ban both Tamers. Complete ban. Wait. I got the fix. Wait. Ban Lunamon. Ban Coronamon. And then make a new set with a new Luna, new Corona, and new Tamers. All specifically say Call and Knife Fang, and it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, I was gonna say in general, dude. I had this conversation with my friends as well. What if we just banned EX5? Have you read EX5? Everything in that set was broken. What was in there? Protoform? Guru
Nauga,
engine?
Olive,
Oh, Dober engine's in there
Anubis.
too, by the way. Anubis and
Anubis.
Levia are in the same fucking set.
Galaxy.
Galaxy. Even Leopard X is waiting to be broken. Waiting.
Yeah, 100%.
Mark my words. Mark my words.
I heavily agree. We've been on the leopard cope train since since day one.
Yeah.
The train has never left the station, unfortunately, but it is patiently waiting. All right.
What a crash set.
It's just a lot of those older cards. Sometimes it's just like you read them and they're like, oh, this is actually like busted. The moment like new support comes out, or that's just generic enough, it's just gonna crack it, and we'd see that happening. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that happening with Leopard. I mean, we just saw Leopard X also just topped regional and Ulti Cup. I think it was.
Was it?
Cup.
Was it the Shoutmon variant, or is it
no, it was 8th place.
It might as well have been
like green pile.
Yeah, green pile.
Oh, green pile. Gotcha.
And that's what kind of Leopard X is nowadays. Kind of like a green pile type deck. And it's like, oh wait, we had that. It was blue pile. Mirage, busted. Purple pile, busted.
Dare I say it?
We're getting there.
Dare I say it? Is Leopard X Green Mirage?
Yeah, exactly. What it
No,
is.
but it really is. It is. And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's worse than Mirage, because, you know, I'm still trying to get over my Mirage battle scars. But like, if you don't deal with the Leopard X, like, you're fucked.
That is also true. I always said that Leopard X was balanced Anubis because
yeah, exactly.
It's almost exactly the same.
Right, exactly. I'll just say it. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking when they made Anubis, and they thought they could just have unfettered access to your trash every turn at no fucking cost. Like, oh, you get to reduce the cost by 3, but if you trash cards, then you get to reduce the cost by more, so you can reduce your cost by 6. Why did you think that was a good idea? That's literally all we ever wanted as purple players, and we were sorely both rewarded and very quickly punished for having access or unfettered access to our trash.
I always said Anubismon was like the greatest purple card ever made.
I was gonna say, I saw that card and like every time I read it, like, bro, why is it a Digimon and main effect? Wait, why is that a secondary effect allow you to draw cards or pop level 5s? Wait,
draw.
Why is it not once per turn? What's going on here?
Yup,
oh my goodness.
So stupid.
I would have made him a 5-cost Digivolve 13k just to try to offset it, but even then he was just way too fucking powerful.
That isn't
all the inheritables to gain memory. It was just,
if he was 5 costs, he may as well have been 3.
Trainings, yeah.
Bro, can you imagine like Anubis nowadays, but with Scram?
I mean, I think I already see people coping in my locals with scrambles with Anubis.
Right, you just keep recycling your Anubis back. Makes sense.
I mean, basically. I mean, those decks are just called Levia, but you know what I mean.
Right, exactly. Purple toolbox. Yeah, we just got a bunch of purple pile decks as we think about it, you know.
Oh, wait. Dare I say it? Is it purple Mirage?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Hey, you know, you think about 3 Great Angels, it's basically a yellow pile deck, you know?
No. We already said with Yellow Mirage, right? That's Sakuya.
Yeah, right. Well, what's the one we're missing? We're missing a black deck.
Backtrack real quick, since we're just talking about like Sukuyamon, some of those cards, like older cards, like the green plugin, it was like, oh, this is just waiting for Buster support to happen. And guess what happened? Buster support happened, and now it's just a great deck. Like, some of those older cards were just waiting to be broken, and it happens.
That's why I'm not really a fan of rotation. I've said it on past pods, but I like when I can witness past cards be broken, because then I get justified as not a day 1, but like a day 4 player. You know, I get to look back and be like, I remember when that card was shit. That's so cool. Like Gallantmon. I lived through every
I never thought I would see the day of Gallantmon and Sukuyamon being top tier deck.
Yeah.
I never thought I would see the day.
Never thought I'd see the day.
Day one of both of them, like, trash and even more trash. He deserves to be in the garbage cans forever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I was thought Sukuyamon. I was just like, but like, you know, the plugins always read really well. So it was
good. Yeah, but
low key, no.
The actual problem with Sukuyamon was that you were forced to play plugins in your deck, and they were garbage because like the only good one was the green one. But then the new support comes in saying like, yeah, no.
We realized option.
Yeah, just play any option. Just play any option. Okay. And then they decided, wait, what if we gave you a generic plugin called Scrambles?
Yeah, I was about to say Scramble. Like, who thought this was okay? Who thought it was okay that you can use Scrambles plus plugins? So now you can have, arguably, you wanted 8 ways of cheating
7 to 8. Yeah.
Cheating Evos. It was like, oh, this was not a smart idea. Who already thought this?
I'm happy that they're good now, though. I am happy that they're good.
Yeah. All in all, don't take my complaining about Galaxy as, oh, this guy just wants another deck hit. No, I'm fine with it now. Just, everybody's got to have a deck to hate, and my deck to hate is Galaxy.
Galaxy should have been hit the same time as everything else got hit.
Wait, actually, that makes up a great question as to what did you guys wish was also on the ban list? Because I made it.
Galaxy.
Well, okay. I was gonna say I recorded. I recorded a. Sorry. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah. No. Sorry. I was perfectly fine with the ban list how it went. And I was like, the only thing they missed was the Red Tamer. Okay. If it was the Red Tamer on there, I think that list would have been 10 out of 10 perfect.
Okay.
Oh, and releasing Greymon X, but that's besides.
Okay.
Davis and Ken,
really? Okay.
Yeah, I hate Imperial, but that deck has been giving me nightmares since I started playing the game. So I had to live through 3 different distinctive waves of Imperial support being fucking stupid and cracked. So I wanted retribution, and I once again was cucked out of it. So
okay, that's a fair statement.
How about you? You said you recorded a video.
I was gonna say I recorded a video, but it's not out yet. It's coming soon, I swear. It only takes. I need the time to edit it, really. But yes, number 1. How the fuck did Analog Youth dodge a ban list, bro? Like,
you think Analog Youth should be hit?
Like, I think Analog Youth. Maybe not like hit now but I think it's one of those cards that every time a broken deck comes out that abuses and wants to set up the trash quickly, Analog Youth is always the first card that comes to mind. And it's just one of those things where it's like, it's feel like it's overstayed its welcome. At least that's just my opinion. Where it's like, for example, the ancient loops, right? We have Fenrir Luga Takamikazuchi, or even now Red Purple Imperial, all of which were decks that really wanted to set up their trash quickly. And Analog Youth just says, yup, easiest way to set up in the entire game. And also can enable some degenerate loops every now and then. Because the vibe that I got from this ban list is that they really hate loops. They really don't like loops. And I was like, all right, why don't we hit one of the key, one of the first loop enablers? Because like even way back when in like BT was actually, no, I think it was just EX1, when the promo Aguni and promo Lobo first came out, people were already trying to do that shit with with Gabubon or Agubon and so on as well. So that's one of the reasons why I was like, I'm just surprised that it hasn't dodged one. If we go for the rest of the game's lifespan of not getting hit, I guess I could live with it, assuming there isn't a new deck in the future that abuses it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that, in my opinion, limits design space. So it was long overdue. But for the key hitters that I would have wanted hit, the fact that Dober Engine is untouched is kind of crazy to me. If you wanted to hit Dober Engine, I would have said you hit Cerberus X, because that is a generic unsuspend for any purple top end in the game. Because, like, for example, Lavaya really loves it for being able to just swing 3 checks. Right. And it being able to bring out back any level 3 as well is why it's the whole reason why it's able to swarm the board still, despite not having Anubis around and abusing those Dober inheritables as well. So, in my opinion, if you hit the Cerberus X, you limit in its frequency of being able to OTK while also building wide. And again, limits this. It's a card that, in my opinion, limits design space for purple. And another counterpoint for that is for BT6 Savior Huckmon. That card was hit for less.
Counterpoint, that card was hit to drive sales.
That is a fair statement. That is a fair statement.
They were straight up hitting cards because they wanted to sell. They clearly stated they wanted to sell more products.
That's a fair statement. That's a fair statement.
I do think that Justimon should have taken a hit back in the day, but then by the time that hit came, it was like too late. So it was just like it was needless.
Yeah. Other than that, what else did I want hit that I think they missed? I guess for Imperial, I wasn't a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of hitting the idea of hitting Davis and Ken. But I do think the Stingmon is not enough. It's good that it limits their draw power, but I think if you wanted to weaken the deck by a peg, is you either hit the Stingmon with BT12 XVmon, because that is what enables like a lot of memory efficient plays, in my opinion at least, and or Primogenitor. I don't like Primogenitor. That card that card is such a custom card. It's crazy.
That's a fact.
Yeah, the card is cracked.
Yeah. And I think the last one that wasn't hit is Galaxy was just untouched. Hit the Galaxy Tamer in some way, or choice restricted, or I don't fucking know, like errata. I don't know. Hit Galaxy in some way. Fuck Galaxy.
That's fact.
Long-winded explanation. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I mean, that's what we're here for.
The Stingmon, the Stingmon hit was totally a JP thing. After listening to, I think it was the Huang Zero tier list with the JP player, he was talking about like Imperial players in like the JP area. They lived and swore by that Stingmon. And that's why they were like, that Stingmon the guy was a 4-up must, no question asked.
Oh, really?
And because of the draw power was just so important to them for them to get their pieces.
I guess that makes sense considering it's a best of one format as well. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you say that tracks. I hope with unification, I hope that they're looking at every format.
That's why I was interested in that, because like for us.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just saying for us, like it was like, oh, who cares? That card's only gets played at like a 2-up.
It's the most irrelevant card in the deck, right?
But in JP, it was like really important.
Okay. Then you know what? Fuck. Maybe I gotta edit my video now. Shit.
No, you're good. Keep your video. Obviously, for us, it doesn't matter because it's like, all right, cool. We're gonna keep doing the same shenanigans anyways. But like, I guess for them, they're just gonna go do what we do now for Imperial. That's it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my thoughts on like Cerbex are the same thing, or the same as my thoughts on generic, like Galaxy and like generic good engines. I'm not a fan of hitting decks that have generically good engines, but I'm a fan of hitting shit that does shit for free / very cheap. So like I can see Sakuyamon getting a hit one day if it just continues to abuse doing everything for free and for cheap. In the same way that like Purple always catches bullets, because Purple is just efficient at what it does in setting up trash and then abusing and manipulating trash. That being said, like for me, Cerbex was like, I never cared about hitting it because it's a good card that enables the decks that utilize it to do exactly what they want to do. But it's not like it's for me, it was never an egregious, like, oh, fuck, I hate that I played against this. Or I hate that I lost this, because it just kind of felt like, yeah, it does what it does. And, you know, we call it a day, we dust our hands.
May I interject a little bit on that then?
Yeah.
How often have you gotten, all right, push out Dober to Dober X or Protoform to Dober X into Cerberus X, or training into Cerberus X, play out Goblimon, Protoform to Dober X, and then just keep going off of like negative memory? How often has that happened to you? Not
often enough for me to say I would hit the engine.
Okay. I've had it happen to me enough. But
it's happened enough for me. Like I played a lot against that, and I just didn't think it was like something. I was like, all right, cool, you doing cool things. I don't think it was like overly busted for me personally. Like to me, I think the engine is fair on the strong side, but not like it's to the point of like
it's a strong engine.
Gotta go. But I could see why, especially for the unsuspend, because of Levi. It's like 3 checks, unsuspend 3 checks.
Or even back when Lord Knight, right? When Lord Knight was first starting getting popularity, you're like, man, why does it just have unsuspend like that?
I didn't even care about Lord Knight doing what it did either. Like that's the thing.
Oh,
like,
really? Okay,
I played plenty of Lord Knight, Levi, all that. Again, fantastic for Nats. And to me, it felt like it was egregious enough for me. I was like, this gotta go. I just thought Protoform, a very strong card.
Yeah, I mean,
like
my counterpoint
I just didn't think I think it was just good. It was just,
okay.
Because like, remember because I think a lot of people think about like the drawing aspect is like, well, the drawing aspect is actually a fair drawing aspect. It's like, all right, cool, Evo, draw one, trash one.
It doesn't get any fairer
Evo,
than that,
draw one, trash one. All right, that's not too bad compared to when you had like Guru X, right? Draw 3, trash 2. Now you're popping off like crazy. Mind you, that's just one set of Garurumon. That's just Guru X's. I'm not even talking about Garurumon. I think it's the starter deck one. Draw 1, trash 1. Evo into Guru X. Draw 3, trash 2. I mean, draw 3 with the Evo, obviously. So if you think about it, it's draw 2, trash 1. Draw 3, trash 2. Then you go into Rare Guru, whatever. You swing. You have 2 inheribles of draw 1, trash 1, draw 1, trash 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I think about the drawing aspect of that, I'm like, oh, the drawing aspect is fair because you're never going to get all that draw when attacking either. You're just getting the 1-for-1s on Evos and you climb it up. All right, cool, you're good. And then you do your shenanigans.
That's fair.
So that's why I never thought it was like Eismon. Eismon's the reason why Graceful Charity, right? Graceful Charity is everything's busted. I don't see it like that either. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think of it.
Okay. That's a fair statement. I'm okay being in the minority for that one then.
I recorded a video yesterday.
In the minority. We're probably in the minority, honestly.
Really?
A lot of people want Cerbex here.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I recorded a video yesterday and I was talking about Growlmon X. Obviously, Growlmon X is half red, half purple. So the purple attribute is draw 1, trash 1. And then
Growlmon X, trash. For some reason, I thought War Growlmon X.
No, just Growlmon X. And I talked about how cool a card like Growlmon X was just for Gallantmon. Because obviously it's versatile for both Gallantmon and Megidramon / Chaos Gallantmon. But what's nice is seeing the BT20 rookies, the Dracomon and the Huckmon. They're a start of main trash 1 card. That's true.
Gain memory draw card?
Gain memory draw card, exactly. Seeing that spill into other archetypes. So for Gallantmon, it's essentially an extra draw. It's not egregious, right? They're only getting to draw 1 extra card, and they do have to trash a card for doing it. But realistically speaking, in your hand of what generally is 8+ cards, are you actually utilizing all 8 cards? So being able to filter and find the card that you need while also, yeah, sure, we get rid of a card that you don't need. That's the trade-off for finding a card. We don't have searching like Yu-Gi-Oh level searching. We're not going to flip the deck and find the exact combo piece we need. If that's the trade-off for getting more draw power into archetypes, I'm fine with that. And I think that's what we need. I think the problem with Cerb is it's a really, like Dan said, is a really strong, generically good engine that is pretty much unmatched in terms of generic engine goodness by every other color. To play any other color, your archetype needs to live up. Like Galaxy, for example, it's built in. I'm just gonna draw, and search, just for sheer draw power. And they're the only thing that matches up to purple right now in terms of sheer card advantage. If other colors get access to draw and trash as a mechanic, just to be able to dig deeper into the deck and to find the pieces that they need, I think that offsets some of the power that a lot of people see in the Dober engine doing what it does. Obviously, yeah, the when attacking is a big thing, because Leviamon, chomp, 4 to 6 checks if you pop a tamer out security.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's a big thing. But
I've had my fair share of like, all right, swinging security, like, all right, cool, I win. Or I think he's desperate now. I win if I don't check a tamer.
Yeah.
First check tamer. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So I can see that. Analog Youth is like the same, like kind of like the same like logic for me in a way. I agree. I know Bandai hates loops. The big thing is that they make some cards that like enable degenerate loops.
Yeah.
Like the Tamer for Galaxy, both of them at this point. Obviously, one got a choice restriction, and the other one is kind of floating on cloud 9 right now. But like that's so like just my thought process is the same like generic goodness. We need to have. We talked about this with think we talked about this with both Lewis and Mario. Like the need for like a certain level of generic pile in the game. Not every deck. Like, you know, we talked about, we have Leopardmon, which is green pile. We have, which is legitimately just green pile. It's every good green card. Because at least Vaccine is traded, right? So Angels and everything, it's still a trait that you have to play into. What else did we have that we talked about that I'm missing? Obviously, Galaxy. Yeah,
purple Levia pile.
Yeah, and purple. So we have like 3.
And then blue pile Mirage, blue pile. That was.
I mean, just fish, right? It's really just fish engine.
Now fish.
Fish engine, right? So we have like 3 like generic color based. I can play any color I want, generally speaking. Pile decks, or like Galaxy is like hybrid half and half color, whatever. Which is probably like one too many, right? I think if it was like 1 or 2, it's like fine, but when it's, you know, when it's so many, you have too many good things doing too many. I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say.
I don't know where you're going.
I'm actually a little confused. Sorry.
All right. So basically what I'm trying to say is that, like, Dan, we've spoken in the past about we need to have a balance between archetypes and essentially non-archetypes, piles, so to say, generic cards, generic like Analog Youth, or generic engines like Purple Dog and whatever the hell else you can use. Galaxy, purple, and green right now are like 3 pile decks. And if people want Cerbex hit, or the Purple Dog engine hit because of Cerbex, and what that engine enables for the deck being able to both draw and then provide like big explosive offensive power. For green, thinking about the deck list in my head, it's basically turbo into Leopard and then board control because you're bouncing everything back to hand. So your 5s and everything don't matter. Probably the biggest, I'm sure he played Palmons, right, Dan?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
So that's probably like the biggest like consistency piece for them, because it gives you a suspend. It gets you, I think, 2 memory when you suspend something. So it's reducing costs, so to say. And then if you have a Tamer in play, you get to reduce cost even more on Evo. So that with the Togemon is what enables you to establish this stack that you can Evo for cheap and get value by playing things out, either giving blocker off a Leopard or bouncing things back to hand with Leopard X. And then playing out Medieval on top of that because it's red-green. And then obviously Galaxy does whatever the fuck it wants to do with its top end. So with so many, with these decks being able to have such versatile top ends, it's different when it's like, oh, well, Galactic's going to be good. We all know what Galactic is going to do. It's just going to fucking blow your face for all your security and try to swing for game. Blue-green Imperial, we know that that's just going to try to DNA and take 1,000 swings in as little turns as possible. Red-purple Imperial, we know that's going to try to obliterate your security and make it hard for you to remove your boss monster. But when for as much archetype decks as we have, I feel like when it comes to the idea of generic decks, it tends to leave more of a sour taste in players' mouths when people are kind of able to abuse cards that they don't feel like should be abused outside of their archetype. So that's what I was trying to say with like maybe 3 or pile decks is like 1 too much, because they prefer to see these cards played in their archetypes rather than abused by not their archetypes, like Invisimon. We all saw Invisimon and we loved it. We were like, oh my goodness, cool. And then the deck is trash, but Invisimon is beautiful in Galaxy. So that's what I was trying to articulate. I don't know if I articulated it.
I kind of get it. I kind of get it.
Chat, let me know in the comments. Did I articulate that well? Do you agree or do you disagree? That's what we're here for. We're here for discussions. Anyways, we're an hour and a half in, and we don't even know who Ben is. All we know is that
things went crazy. Things went sideways.
He's some sort of
episode
YouTube.
2? Is it DVD in episode 2?
I mean, we could have an entire. I mean, we do have time to record. I was going to ask you anyways, but we could most definitely do an episode 2. But Ben, who are you? How did you get into the Digimon, both the franchise and the TCG. And yeah, let us know.
Okay, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Ben. I am just a little nobody from out here in northern Canada, where all the penguins and polar bears lie. How I got into Digimon. It actually dates way back to the very... it's a bit of a heartwarming story, actually. I was visiting my grandma at the time, and she had these VHSs of like cartoons, and they were mid-season one episodes of Digimon Adventure. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I like it. And it was all downhill from there. And then from there, I got to talk with my my childhood friend, my childhood friend and cousin Fari. You might have seen him in a few of my videos every now and then, but yeah, we that's when we kind of grew up on that, and we would just watch every bit of VHS Digimon we could find. But we were like kind of on and off about it because that was during the same time as like Pokemon and Metabots. I don't know if y'all remember Metabots. Oh,
Yeah.
good times.
Metabots were great.
What about Beatamon? You remember Beatamon?
Oh, I love Beatamon.
Yeah, I love
I am
Beatamon.
so salty. I
Love
lost my
Beatamon.
Bakuso, bro. I had a.
Hey, yo, I have a in my closet. I have like a drawer full of all the Beatamon shit. Pretty cool.
Yeah, but then I would say what really kickstarted our love for the franchise was definitely the first movie. Like the very first movie, and I got to see the big monstrous Godzilla-looking Greymon versus Parrotmon, and of course the Diaboron movie was just iconic, picture perfect movie. Even today, by today's standards, don't watch O2 the beginning. I was very disappointed.
Well, guy freak. Don't do it, Farty.
Can you stop?
Freak.
Can you stop that? Listen, I agree that the movie wasn't the best, but can you stop disrespecting Ukumon, please? He was just trying to get some love out here, all right?
Dude, the biggest highlight of that movie is when I watched it with my friends, and then Louis was literally talking about his entire sob story of like the horrors that Ukumon did, and then the first line immediately after he says his sob story is like, "Man, I feel sorry for Ukumon," and then literally from the audience was like, "Ukumon, the fuck." What do you mean?
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
The entire theater was dying. It was great. Yeah. I feel like I cut you off. I'm sorry. Should I continue my story?
You're
good.
Yeah, because just real quick, Barney does not understand the power, the greatness of the original Digimon the movie is. Please explain to him how goated it was for us as kids.
Oh, okay. So first and foremost,
You already did, but just saying.
Oh, I mean, it was already goated because of, in my opinion, it was two main things. The first one was that like it just got to see like the Thai origin story. We got to see how big Digimon can be and like see on a big scale. To me, at least, that was really cool. But more importantly, everyone always talks about the Diaboron one movie because that gave us Omnimon, and that was so cool. And not only that, it also gave us it also gave us the idea of that like Digimon are part of the internet. Like obviously when you're older now, you think like, oh yeah, the digital world, of course it accesses the internet. But I don't know, to me, the idea of like the Digimon just accessing the internet is just so cool to me because it's as if like you can like they have applications to the real world. And that, at least I didn't watch all of season 1, so maybe they already had access to the internet beforehand, but this is my first experience seeing it as kids, and that's why one of the main reasons why I loved it so much.
It was like Mega Man NT Warrior for me.
Mega Man NT Warrior. Thank you. I couldn't find the words for that.
Jack in!
Mega Man.
That shit was fire. Love Mega Man NT Warrior. So I get that.
Yeah.
Point.
So since then, I just been watching Digimon season after season. O2, I didn't get to watch when it released, but I did revisit it when I got older, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Season 3, pretty goated. Everyone talks about Tamers with very high regard, and I can see it. It holds up. I'm not a huge fan of Takato though. He's a bit of a bitch, but you know, season's great. Season's great. Momentai, right?
No way. Nah,
Takato, man.
Ew, just stop. Don't do that again.
Season 4, Frontiers. I actually did enjoy it at the time when I was a kid because I was in my Power Ranger phase. I love Power Rangers. It's great. And then as I got older, I was like, yeah, I don't like it as much. Only because if I wanted to watch Power Rangers, I'd watch Power Rangers. I'd rather watch Digimon. And then we saw my favorite, season 5. Oh, believe me, man. I love season 5 so much. And the reason why I love Data Squad so much is because I think I was honestly just hooked by the first episode. Because traditionally, and how, you know, your main character gets your Digimon to Digivolves, they see their partner get hurt, and they go like, they cry for a little bit, and they use the power of emotion, and then all of a sudden, they Digivolve. Cool. Yeah, that's the traditional format. That's not what happened in Data Squad.
Marcus was out here.
Marcus literally just said, "Hey, yo, you messed up with my homie. Let me tell you, these hands are rated E for everyone, bro. You're fucked." And
he said, everyone can get the smoke.
Exactly. You're not ready for this smoke. And yeah, since watching it is great. And also, I really, really love the Data Squad theme, especially when they played it for Digivolutions and such. I know people might flame me for this one because I know a lot of people love the Japanese version over the English version. But for me, I grew up with Data Squad, and that's why I love the dub a lot, as well as the dub soundtrack, which in my opinion is fire, very, very fire. There's a reason why one of my skits I had to dedicate it to it because it was just so fun to say.
All right.
And yeah, and after that is Cross Wars. That's when I started falling a bit out of love of watching the anime because it wasn't. I guess I would say I grew up out of it, but other than that, I still stay true to being a Digimon fan. I kept up like with the main story. Like I end up finishing Cross Wars eventually, and I think the part 2 of Cross Wars is good. Part 1 is a little slow. I couldn't get into Hunters though. No, I refused to watch that one. I only watched the Legend Hero episode, and that's it. that's all I cared about. So you better believe that as I was following Digimon for a long period of time, and I kept up with the lore and the games, when the TCG was announced, I actually was not going to play it.
Hey, no, but for real, same
no,
though.
I unironically was not going to play it only because, like, okay, this is the third time that Digimon was getting a TCG, and spoiler alert, I come from a many years of playing TCGs in the past of Card Fight Vanguard. I was a diehard main Card Fight Vanguard player, and I was focusing more on that competitively.
Yep.
And I was like, nah, there's no way I'll play the Digimon TCG. No shot. I watched one trailer video, just one trailer video to see how the game played. I was like, fuck. This game looks good. I hate it. This game looks good. And that actually leans into the story of how we have so many locals in my hometown, because I essentially kickstarted the community, especially for the main locals at the time. And I was basically just encouraging every card shop and like, get Digimon. And I would go to every locals possible. Once I learned that more locals were potentially hosting Digimon, but their scene wasn't as big, I would visit every locals possible. And even if it was like a 4-man tournament, doesn't matter. And I essentially networked a whole bunch. And now we are a massive community in my city, I would say. And it's great. It's great. I love it a lot. And I would say how I started the Digimon TCG. It's actually really funny. I was gonna be an All-Force Digimon main at the beginning of the Digimon TCG, because BD2 I was like, oh yo, look at this, it's All-Force Digimon, he attacks multiple times, oh this is so cool, you know, it's just like because I come from Card Fight Vanguard, right? This is like Dragonic Overlord attacking multiple times, this is so sick. I'll play this deck, and I like blue as a color, like just as a general color, in case you couldn't see. And I was like, all right, sure, I'll play with All-Force Digimon. And then I was starting to play test with my friends, all right, and because we weren't gonna get it in English, or at least in my hometown, for like some time, so we were just playing like tabletop, you know, before the Project Drazels, before the DCGOs. I was out here over on Tabletop Simulator.
Same.
Yeah. And then as I was playing it, I was like, I would make through all the trouble, like, yeah, I'm gonna digital into All-Force Digimon, and I'm gonna start attacking. Here we go. Attacking 2 to 3 times. 2 checks. Here we go. First check, Gaia Force. This is the worst game I've ever played in my life. This game is bullshit. I hate this game. Yeah. Or not even. All right, swing 11K, one check 15K Omni. All right, this game sucks, dude. What the heck is this bullshit? Yeah, so that was the quick and swift end of my blue career. I never touched a blue deck ever again. Even when BT11 and All Force Digimon got good, like, hey, are you gonna pick up All Force Digimon? I'm like, no.
Not falling for that trap again. Fool me once, shame on me.
Nah, bro.
Fool me twice.
Nah. Yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Nuh-uh. I'm not playing this deck again. So then I got to thinking like, okay, well, shit. What do I play? Do I play red? Okay, maybe red looks pretty fun, but I hated how linear it played, and I also hated like, yeah, same problem. You get hit with the Gaia Force, you're fucked. All right. I mean that was basically BT1, BT2 format, right?
Yeah. There's nothing you can do about that.
Exactly, nothing you could do. But I was like, is there something I could do to like stem the bleeding? I want something that like gets me a bit of the best of both worlds. I like having a little bit of defense and I like a little bit of offense. I always played a bit more of a control type play style, I would say. I wasn't gonna get into SecCon though, because that is just boring. So I discovered like, let's try a different deck. Let's try a different color. And I decided to go with, let's go with pure BT2 black. Right? And then I was just gonna play with like War Greymon. I like War Greymon. War Greymon's a cool guy. And I discovered what jamming was.
This fixes all my All Force problems.
All Force had jamming. Yeah. All Force had jamming.
I mean, it did, but it was like you had to. I forgot what was the condition to do.
It was the arrow Digimon. You had to unsuspend. Yeah.
Yeah, you had to unsuspend first.
Get the Rena. You unsuspend. It was easy.
Yeah, I mean, it was easy. Oh wait, Rena. Rena. I mean, that Rena. You're right. You're right.
I know. Right. I played the deck. I know what I'm talking about.
Sorry. I thought about BT11 Rena. I got scarred. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no. I completely forgot. I think I was playing less arenas at the time because they felt a little bit bricky. But either or, yes, it was easy, but like it still took like a lot of work to like build up, right? Because you gotta set tamers and such. BT2 Greymon, I could just evo that shit into a metal gray and go, all right, swing jamming. All right, start of your turn, reboot, canceling into me. I'm like, yo, this feels good. I like this. I like this. I'm able to have a bit of a mix of offense and defense. And if I wanted to like, and it was also one of the only colors that had like a bajillion blockers. So I got to feel like, okay, if I'm getting outpaced, I can do something. If I have a high roll line I could do, but it's not the only thing that I do. So I guess you could say I was always a fan of, maybe not control actually, more of a jack of all trades, master of
mid-range.
none. Yeah. I mean, everyone always says mid-range, but they actually mean whatever archetype they want to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you could say mid-range. And that's what started it all. And I was like, all right, surely. And every time a new deck comes out and they hype up a new thing, like, oh yeah, this is the day I don't play a black deck. I'm mistaken every single time. So it's I'm hooked. I'm stuck. And it works out for me because all of my favorite Digimon just end up turning into being black cards. So I'm happy about it.
Yeah, that's a fact. So as a former card Fight Vanguard player from one to another, you mentioned Draconic Overlord. Am I correct to assume that you were a Kagura main?
I was a Kagura main for the first, I think a good 8 years of Vanguard when it started. Yeah, and then I migrated to Aqua Force, which is like basically the same thing. I always wanted to play Aqua Force, but keep in mind I was playing Card Fight Vanguard when I was 13, so Draconic Overlord was the most cost efficient deck to build when you're a child, because like you just have to change the top end every now and then.
Yeah, exactly.
You just have to change the top end every now and then. Maybe get some good generic support, but like it's always been just Kagura good stuff, so it's very cost efficient. But Aqua Force was always one of those clans where like, man, this looks cool. I love the character who plays it too, but I can't afford this shit. But by the time of year 8, I met one of my best friends one of my current best friends of all time, where we were just like shooting the shit, and I was not having a good time with Kagura, and he was not having a good time with Aqua Force. His deck was way more blinked out than mine, by the way. And then he just made the suggestion of, hey, Ben, it was also one of our late night grind sessions, I should mention. This is like 11 p.m., so we were definitely tired out of our minds. He says, hey, Ben, we don't like our decks, right? Yeah. what if we swap them? Like, what do you mean? Like, I play Aquaforce and you play Kagero? I'm like, yeah, let's swap them real quick. And we had so much fun. So much fun that my best friend said, like, you know what? What if I trade offer? I take your deck, you take mine. I'm like, your deck is like 3 times worth my deck. Why are you making this trade? And he just says in the most heartwarming way possible, is like, you're a nice guy. And I'm like, fuck. I had to contemplate really hard because of like that deck that I was giving up was like years, right, of like a lot of sentimental value, a lot of even potential tops. I came in, I get second place in my first ever regionals back in the age of 14, I think. Yeah, 14. Yeah.
Nice.
It was fun, very fun. So I was willing to give all that up, but at the end of the day, I did, and I haven't looked back since. I've become an Aquaforce main since.
Hell yeah. I remember, same thing. I've been in a card fight since I was, God, I don't know. And I was playing it at the time very heavily, was focused on trying to get better. Saw somebody playing Digimon in the shop and I was like, Digimon, wow, that's so cool. But nah, I can't do that. I'm focused on card fight right now. I can't do this to myself. Yeah, needless to say, that shit did not last very quick.
Yeah, it did not last very quick for me either. I mean, I was actually willing to juggle both games at a time. I mean, I'm gonna be real. The second rotation got me. I was like, all right, I don't know if I want to play Vanguard competitively anymore.
When they went to standard or
overdress, yes.
Sorry, yes. When they went to overdress, yeah. So yeah, it was the same thing for me. I was playing, so it was V Premium. They were just starting to reboot into standard. Or sorry, overdress, and I was like, I'll give it a try. But then they did it, and I was just like, I guess I can try out Digimon. Digimon looks fun because they came out around the same time.
Yes.
Digimon was maybe like 3 to 4ish months prior. Because when I got into it, it was BT4, and that was coming out maybe like a month later that the new overdress starter decks were coming.
Yeah.
But in terms of like wide release, because product was so hard to come by, it might as well have came out at like the same time because BT4 is when it started to get better.
Yeah, for sure. yeah. Don't.
Yeah. And I'm sure up there in Canada, it's fucking difficult to.
It was difficult at the time, but now it's gotten way better.
That's
way
good.
better.
That's
I mean, hey, having was it 1, 2, 3, 4? I'm counting with. I counted 4 with 5 fingers. By the way, I'm stupid. I think 4. Yeah, 4.
2, 3, 4.
4 shops that both would be interested in carrying product, or 4+ shops. I think there's more, but those ones don't really have much of a local scene. But yeah, but 4+ shops that are willing to carry product, it's gotten way easier to like get cases and such. It's great.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad for that. So,
man, I wish we had multiple locals like that in our area.
I feel like sometimes, we just got to bite the bullet and just move, Dan. But not move like Mike.
Where we gonna move to?
Because Mike moved like a bum.
Oh.
Mike moved from an area with no card shops to an area with no card shop. No, sorry. An area with like, all right, depending on what I want to play, there's some card shops. To, all right, there's like none. All.
Yeah.
Within a 20-mile radius.
Yeah, that is the element is very much a blessing. I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, we'll just move to Canada. We'll migrate.
No, come by.
It works out, if we don't want to be here for the next 3 years while we wait for things to pass, we can just
move up to
Yeah, you move. Yeah, if you move up to Canada, don't worry, I'll dox my entire location. We can be roommates.
Oh no.
So, all right. Last question. What made you want to get into content creation?
Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, I always did want to get into content creation since I was like, probably like high school or like even pre-high school. I guess actually no, this dates back to like even from when I was a kid, like a wee lad. A wee lad. I wanted to be an actor when I was a kid. I always loved watching movies. I was a huge movie binger since I was a kid, and I always liked the idea of playing a character that I really tried hard to be an actor growing up. And I had to learn the very hard lesson all the way. I mean, I still tried as much as I could, and huge props to my parents for always supporting me. But it was towards like mid to late high school. That's when I realized, like, yeah, that ain't happening. It was. I mean, it's because I didn't live in a city that had a lot of gigs.
Yep.
And also, unfortunately, with growing up with Asian parents, you're always constantly hit with like, okay, well, sorry, my mom never did. My dad would, of always saying that, all right, so how do you make money? You know? And
yeah.
I mean, this is cool and all, but when are you going to start like focusing on your school, you know? And that was unfortunately always beat into my head. So I focused a lot more on school all the way up until university. And it was towards... but it was always still in the back of my mind. I should keep that in mind. I was always a huge fan of like watching YouTube and such, and that always made me think that maybe content creation is somewhere in the cards for me. Who knows? But like, I grew up watching like Niga Higa, and that was like my standard for like what I want my content to be if I ever were to. So I was like, okay, that's just out of my reach. That's just not going to happen. But it was in third year university. Where I unfortunately went through a little bit of a mental health crisis. It was not pretty. And that's when I thought like, okay, that's it. I'm going to fail school. It's all over. It's all over. And then I remember something a very famous YouTuber by the name of Markiplier said. I was going to be an engineer, but then I did YouTube. And fun fact for you, I did take engineering for my university degree. So I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen? And so I lined up too because it was just before the pandemic hit. So I had a lot of free time, and I was like, all right, I'm not doing any school. I've taken summer school every summer since like early high school. I wanted a break from that, please. So I took the time to get my setup. I did the shopping on like Amazon. Got my Elgato HD60, my Logitech 1920 webcam that I'm still using to this day. I love this thing, and my mic. And I started streaming on Twitch, playing a mobile game called Dragalia Lost. I love that game.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. That's a gacha game, right?
It is in fact a gacha game because that's like, I don't know what I would stream, right? Because like there was this before pre-Digimon, right? So I would just like shoot the shit and like just playing some gacha games every now and then, and I can go into a way more of a tangent of that one, but I wouldn't waste your time. We'll fast forward a bit more to when people started knowing that I played card games, and I started doing like Fight Vanguard on stream, like Vanguard Zero. Because I was already in the mobile game space anyway, I might as well just migrate to that. Yep. But also at the same time, I did Nuzlocke, and that's what I would actually put on my channel. And a little bit of like here and there, I guess like compilations, but those never did that too well. But I was always proud of like one game in particular that I completed on my channel, which is the Digimon World DS Nuzlocke. And that was fun. That was really, really fun. And I saw, and I still have that comment that really resonated with me because like I was still like kind of feeling stagnant / struggling on what I wanted my content to be. And it was the comment on my Nuzlocke channel. Actually, it was was it years? Maybe like a year or two after we finished the Nuzlocke. But it was just sitting there on the channel, and that comment just said, the fact that this guy isn't a full-time DigiTuber is criminal. And I was like, you know, maybe I'll give it a shot. But then I'm like looking, what's all the Digimon content out there? And I see like, okay, typical deck profile, typical gameplay. I could see myself doing gameplay, but like, I don't want to just do that forever, you know? And I wanted something unique. And I was like, you know, I always said I wanted to be an actor. I started doing skits. And then I started doing skits. And that's basically kind of kickstarted to where I am today, I would say. And that's the story of Ben Ben.
That's the story about how a young Fight Vanguard player blossomed into the Digimon. A wee lad blossomed into the Digimon player he is today.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely say that all those years of playing card games were not for naught. I would 100% say all of my skills that I've learned were 100% transferable. So
I think lightning just hit my house or close to it.
That's what that
you
was?
Yep.
holy shit.
I'll go check real quick. That was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is that?
I'm fine, but like the boom was so crazy.
I heard that from here. Wow.
Yeah, I was sitting here like, did I just play a video? Was this a video playing in my headset? That's lightning. All right. All cool stuff.
I'm sorry if I've been rambling a bunch of.
Bro, all we do here is ramble. If you couldn't tell.
All right.
If you could, we're almost 2 hours in off of pure rambling. So you're all good.
I just hope you've been having as much fun as I am. I've been having a lot of fun.
Oh, it's a great time. It's always a great time when we get to meet and talk to fellow just people who enjoy Digimon. For me personally, that's what I enjoy the most about Digimon. I love Card Fight because people who play Card Fight fucking love Card Fight, right?
Yeah. They're super nice. They're very nice. I love the card fight community, even to this day. I mean, I haven't been keeping in touch lately, but I'm still in touch with like some Card Fight Vanguard content creators, and they're like one of the nicest people I've ever met. They're amazing.
Yeah, the Card Fight was like Dan played Yu-Gi-Oh! I, played it on the playground, but my first like actual card game community was Card Fight. When I hit like 18 and I was like, I can buy my own cards and I have nobody to tell me no. I was posted on Reddit and I was like, hey, are there any locals in my area? And somebody said, I'm not going to tell you who I am because, the confidentiality, but you can come here and, come and play. And I did. And lo and behold, when I went, I found a friend who I had played with years prior. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. And that just jump-started everything when it comes to card games. I was super heavy into Card Fight, and that's kind of what influenced me to be the way that I am. Whenever I needed cards, they would never be like, oh, this is a $10 card on TCG Player, so I'm going to charge you $10 or I'm going to charge you $9.
I'm not going to do that, yeah.
They'd be like, all right, give me like $5 or, whatever. And they would just give me decks and here, try this out and all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, man, this is fantastic. I love card games. I love playing with you guys. So starting Digimon, it was the same thing for me. I was like, I want to do this for other people. That's why I don't charge anybody at locals. Yeah, fucking
crazy amounts. Yeah,
crazy. Any sort of that shit.
What a liar. They may be charging me full price on everything. I swear to God.
Just because you're a bitch. That's why. But no.
Wow, that's rude.
Damn. I mean, I was going to say, even on our locals too, we have the classic saying of all right, we do the unconverted rule. Whatever we see in TCG Player, that's what you pay in Canadian, because Lord knows our Canadian dollar sucks. God.
That's funny as shit. But hey, yeah, it works. And that's what I like to do. If somebody needs a card, I'm not going to be like, especially if it's like a sub $5 card. I'm not going to be like,
just take it, bro.
I want $2.50. No, motherfucker, just take the card. I'm not hurting for fucking $3. Now, of course, if it's like a $40 card, sure, I guess give me I don't know, 25 or something. And
the annoying part is we have people at our locals who are we'll just say penny pinchers. And every cent in the dollar to try and get off him, bro, it's a $2 card. What are we talking about here?
Yeah,
so the worst is when it's pre-release and the prices of the cards are going to go down. And I'm just
all right,
I'm willing to feed into the pre-release.
That is true. That is true.
I'm willing to feed into the pre-release price. That being said, you're part of the locals and I give you deals. I'm not, if the card is $30, my offer, I'm going to say 2022. Because the card realistically is going to drop down to that much, and I could probably just grab it for 12 to 15.
Yeah.
And then he's like, 25. And I'm just like, no, fuck out of here. I'll just fucking wait, bro. I'm not that hard up for it. It's just that's just him though. I've always fostering just the idea of I guess it's you scratch my back, I scratch yours. We're all playing the same game. We all want to play the game. That's why we're all here. So if we can help each other out, why not? I'm not going to sit here and try to be oh, well, I'm going to need, remember that card I gave you? It's $2.
No,
I'm going to need 50 cents from 50 cents is going to pay
With interest.
with interest. Yeah, exactly. Or I saw a post on Facebook the other day that was like, oh, I traded my Gallant, or it was a meme, but he traded his Gallant X for a medieval at like pre-release. And obviously now like the price disparity is like a lot different.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, but like, you like, A, you agreed on it. And B, I would hope that you like traded it with like somebody that like you're cool with. That's another thing. I don't trade with assholes.
Yeah.
If I can tell who's asshole and who's not. And like when used to have a lot of people coming, so I just not trade with certain people. So I'm not gonna trade with somebody if I don't give a shit about them as a person, realistically speaking.
Yeah.
It's community.
I remember seeing someone. I ain't gonna say names, but they had a set deal done, right? It just so happened they didn't see each other like for like a week or two or something like that. That following week, the card spiked in price. He was like, "Yo, I gotta switch the price on you." I was like,
no,
Yo,
I was like, you did
don't
not
do that.
do that to them like that. I was like, bro, you not serious right now. He was like, what? It went up by like $15. Like, I just like, you already agreed on the price already. Why are we doing this?
You
for?
agreed.
Like that shit, it was so crazy. I was like, that was just wow.
That's wild.
no, that's vile.
Jeez.
That's vile. Yeah, it's all about community, and it's all about like, you know, really is friendships. Like Dan's one of my best friends now, as much as the motherfucker will never admit it.
Wow. I've leveled up to best friend now.
Aww.
You see what I mean?
Y'all made up. I love it.
But like, we would have never had that if it wasn't for Digimon. And
For sure.
I hear about people talk about some of their locals. I'm just like, damn, I'm sorry, but y'all got some shitty locals. Like, locals should be popping. Locals should be like, yeah, I'm going to hang out with the boys and girls and the whoever, whatever you may identify as. I'm going to hang out with the peeps. You know, I'm trying to have fun, not like I don't want to go to locals because like this person's a dick and I don't have fun when I play. Like when people talk about like medieval, for example. We all know medieval's a polarizing card. But like I don't try to take, I love Royal Knights, but I wouldn't really take that to locals because I understand how like aggravating that can be to play against depending on what decks people are playing. And I know the decks that they're playing, right? I know they're playing like fucking I guess pre-Sakuyamon getting good. Sakuyamon. We have a boy, Jarrell, he plays Lucimon, and I mean he comes out there to get smacked up every time he does it.
Hey, no. I have a friend in locals too. He loves Justimon.
He was wild. Poor Lucimon. Oh man, no, he's on Savaga right now. He's on Savaga right now.
Okay.
And like Savaga, like perfect. Like I don't want to go out there and make locals.
He got 4 medievals and that shit.
Damn, his ball was balling. Holy.
But like
he got them prior
he was playing
to the price spike.
And he was playing it pre medievals. Like he was like in the trenches playing it. And I don't want to make that unfun for him. I don't want to go with like Magna X, for example, when I was heavy into playing Magna X. I'm not going there with Magna X to be like, I only went there for one tournament and that was for, I think it was our Evo Cup. And that's because I'm just coming out here to dust everybody. Because like I'm actually trying.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's a time and place, right? For like when you want to like really sweat.
Exactly.
I mean that is also the benefit of having multiple locals, where we actually have the collective like, all right, this local right here, everyone sweats, it doesn't matter, but everyone else is like more of a casual scene. Like just play whatever. Just
exactly. And that's what it's all about. It's all about having fun with everybody and trying to make that a fun experience. So yeah, I get it. That's why I love the card fight community. Card fight always holds a special place in my heart. I still keep up on it. I know they just got fucking V Premium Premium just got fucking.
It was premium, yeah.
Literally with a bunch of shit. But fun stuff. So that's it. We're about 2 hours in. I think it's time to wrap it up.
Damn, already?
Call this one a day. It's only been 2 hours.
Yeah.
So any parting words that you have, Ben?
I guess I would say thank you guys so much for having me on the channel. It was great. Lots of fun. I always love talking about Digimon. And for those of you who enjoy my content, I hope you guys continue to enjoy. Wow. I hope you guys continue to do so. And I apologize for I can't get videos out as fast as I would like. Sometimes you just gotta work. It's coming though.
That's a
Just
fact.
Leslo knows every time I say a video is coming. It's coming.
It
One day.
actually is. It's just it's inching along like a snail, very slowly, but we're
Yeah.
getting there. We're getting.
We get there. It'll come out one day.
So that's right. If you guys are wanting to watch Ben's content, check him out. His video, or not his video.
We'll have
Fucking
the
hell.
description.
My chat.
Yeah, his
The
channel
link to
link,
the description,
will be in the
channel link.
description
Yeah,
down
yeah,
below.
yeah.
Gosh, I can't speak.
Yeah.
So
Charles will
definitely
do
go
that for
check
you.
him out. He has a great series with Ride My Avatar called The Try Cup, where
Fry Cup, yeah.
yeah, he and Ride My Avatar, or Kyle, as you guys will have seen him in
Is
the
that
past.
still going on?
No, if you watched the last episode of Tri Cup, we had to stop the series after season 2 because that's when things started getting real serious for my work and such, and our schedules still just don't line up anymore. It's just unfortunate, but yeah.
It was a great series to check out. It's fun. It's very interactive. Really gets you in there, especially if you're a fan of theme decks, because they do play some great theme decks. So definitely go check that out. That's some of Ben and Ride My Avatar's older content, but Ben obviously makes great content. So check that out. Link in the description down below. There we go. I finally got it. Anyways, that is it for today's episode of DigiPod, the digital podcast. I don't have any part. Dan, you have any part?
See you next time.
My house is not on fire. That lightning did not hit my house.
Let's go.
And so until we talk to you guys next time, peace out.
Bye bye.
Catch y'all in the next one.